𝗕𝗂𝗆
What up?
How you doing?
I'm well. How you doing?
I ain't seen you in about what, 2 weeks since last time?
Yeah, since last time. How you been surviving during this COVID-19?
Been doing great. Took a ride in a lime green convertible yesterday.
I saw that yesterday.
We had some fun with that. That was a nice way to just break up the monotony of this.
Yeah, I heard the reggae music going and everything. Pretty cool.
But yeah, we're doing good. We got guests on the show today.
Yes.
And first, we all about promoting Black products, Black businesses.
Absolutely.
And I want to show everybody this. This is Shauna Solomon's clothing mist. And the fragrance I got is called Fresh. Girl, when I tell you this is the bomb, this is the bomb.
Really?
You spray it on your clothes. You can spray it around. I'm going to spray some on these flowers right here. Freshen up my office. You know what? I'm going to send you a little scent. What that smell like?
Ooh, that smells so good.
Ooh, ain't it? See, y'all don't know. This stuff is so bomb. The aroma travels virtually. You hear
me? It does.
That's how bomb it is.
But let me tell you this. Our editor, 𝗦𝗲𝗹𝗶𝘂𝗏. Did you know she does shea butters?
No.
Girl,
she can hold it out.
This is the best shea butter I've had.
Wow.
And I've never used other people's shea butter because I've developed eczema in my latter years. But her shea butter is like smooth. It goes on like butter. It's awesome.
Shea butter. Because it is shea butter.
It is shea butter. But people's are clumpy, but hers is nice and smooth. It's really good.
Anita, I'm going to be contacting you. I'm going to have to check that out. And tomorrow is Friday. That started to become one of my favorite days because that's Cobbler World Delivery Day.
Cobbler World Delivery, girl. I'm out and about. I'm still getting my hustle and grind on. And, the farmers markets are starting. Sunday, the downtown market, we moved it to Sunday, and we're in the strip district now due to the COVID-19. So it's Sunday from 9 to 1, and then I'm still doing the Robinson market, which is Mondays from 3 to 7. That's an evening market. So make sure you check us out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. All the information is posted.
So I heard you had a lot of restrictions for this for the farmers market. What do you have to do now as a consumer coming there to get something?
Well, as a consumer, you have to be masked up.
Okay.
You cannot come within 6 feet of the vendor. So we have tables. You come to one line, you get your product, you move to the next line at the table to pay for your baked goods or whatever you're purchasing. And you now have to have exact change. There's no change.
Wait, exact change.
Exact change.
Okay, so that's good to know. So I'm sure they're going to have this at the entrance so everybody knows before they try to walk in.
Because we're trying to, minimize the transfer of this disease. So exact change or credit card.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, we're going to introduce our guests.
Yes.
They are DeAnna Davis and Deanna J. Vaughn. They are both realtors with Keller Williams. And today's show is about buying or selling a home during the COVID-19 pandemic. Hey, that has to be a challenging thing to do right now at this time.
Absolutely.
So we're going to bring on the experts, DeAnna and Deanna. What you call them?
I call them D-squared.
D-squared. Okay. So D-squared, welcome to the show. How y'all doing?
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We got to get y'all a little bit more pumped. How y'all doing? I'm an MC. What's up?
Good.
All right, make some noise.
Hey.
And I'm her hype person, so
Yep. So tell us about yourself. How'd you two get together, and start partnering on this?
Well, it goes back several years ago. You ever hear of a stalker?
Yes.
This was my stalker.
Yeah.
I mean, she would show up at places with materials with my names on her, promote me, and I'm like, who is this? So yes.
So that's how I met DeAnna. I heard a lot about her. At the time, I was a loan officer, so it was a perfect compliment. I did a bunch of marketing materials and I put us together and I brought it to her and she loved it. And we've kind of been together ever since, even though I'm not doing loans anymore.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, let me ask you this. Now that the governor has moved our country to yellow, how does this affect someone purchasing a home?
So yellow is a really good thing because it allows someone who's purchasing a home to have a little bit more mobility in their search. While we were in red, there was no private showings allowed. So that means that your real estate agent couldn't take you to the home that you wanted to see. Now they're getting a little bit relaxed on those guidelines. We do have some additional steps that must be taken in order to show you that home, but you can actually access that home. So there's some additional disclosures, the HSA disclosure and the PAN disclosure, but your real estate agent will go over that with you. But yellow is good when you're buying a home.
So even with the yellow now, like you talk about the procedures, each real estate agent has to give each one of their clients a mask, gloves, and booties. In seeing a home, only 2 people can enter the home. And DeAnna talked about the form. One of the forms the buyer and the seller has to sign for you to be able to view the home. The seller cannot be in the home while you're viewing it because, again, only 2 people could go in. So that's your agent and whoever that home buyer is. So if it's a couple, it has to be like a rotation. You know, the wife goes in first and then the husband or, the sister or brother. In the home as the agent, we're not permitted to open anything. We're not permitted to open the curtains, touch anything of that nature. So we have to ask the listing agent if it's okay for their seller to go ahead and open the curtains or any closets or anything of that nature. Each home that you go to visit, you have to sign this Panda form. You just can't go into any home.
Just to add on to that, it has to be signed 24 hours before you go into that home. And this form is asking general questions saying, are you in a household? If anyone is feeling ill, things like that, that the seller and the buyer should know about each other before deciding to allow that interaction to happen.
Okay. Is there something extra people need to know about those trying to sell their house?
Again, it's very similar. If you're looking to sell your home, one of the things in selling your homes in today's time, you cannot have an open house. Okay. So what they're encouraging the seller's agents to do is to set up virtual tours. Otherwise, everything is the same, but the thing of it is you cannot host any type of open house.
Wow.
Wow.
It's kind of strict, but I guess it's necessary.
These are the times that we are living in. So
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to take a quick break and go to a commercial, and we will be right back.
Hey kid, let me tell you about the Soul Pit, and I want you to let everybody know about it. Soul Pit is what's happening in and around your city. Soul Pit is on the internet and around the globe. Soul Pit is on your block and in your car. Soul Pit is in your ear. It's in your hair. It's everywhere. Soul Pit is the latest news, hottest styles, culture, education, information, and more. It gets you ready for things to come. Hey kid, you know what the Soul Pit really is? It's a little something extra for your soul.
oh, I just get so emotional every time I see that commercial. That's my baby. That's my baby.
Yeah, that's our son in the commercial. That was done years ago.
Yes.
He's grown up now.
He's now 22. So I do want to get back to some questions. Now, what if the country moved back to phase red? How will this affect home sales?
Again, during the phase red, a lot of people still was buying and selling homes. Like for me, during the code red, I had 2 clients that never seen the property, purchased the property, and closed on it. One individual, it was like the 18th, the 13th, and then it stopped the next day. So it stopped us from doing the home inspections, but we actually just closed like 2 Fridays ago. So there still was them home sales. During the code red, they changed things. First, you couldn't have a home inspection. The appraiser couldn't come. No one could visit the property. But then they instituted, if your sales contract was signed before March the 18th, You could still have your inspector, but only the inspector could go in. So we utilized the time as far as starting to network, starting to figure out how could we rebrand ourselves. Our company is going through a serious technology change, and it's DeAnna is going to talk about that.
I want to add on to that. If you are in the middle of a transaction, and let's say we do go to red, the governor did do a good job of making provisions for those people who already got started, whose offers were already accepted, and giving a little bit of leeway for transactions to continue. But if your offer was not accepted and you were still looking, you were kind of, at a halt at that point. As far as technology, so when you're thrown into things like this, obviously it'll catch you off guard. But this has been a great opportunity for Keller Williams agents such as ourselves to really reconnect with our core. We have a lot of things going on right now. Like both DeAnna and I have a app where you can just search for homes on your phone. And instead of contacting us in person, which is probably going to be harder to do as we move on, you can send us your homes right from your phone. And we can arrange things remotely for you to go see that home, prayerfully, if we stay in yellow and progress on to green.
And the other thing about when we were in red is for have 6 feet. Like my one client signed his closing papers on top of a hood, and the other one was over at Wendy's. And me as the agent, I had to stay in my car and not ask no questions, no conversations till all the ink was dry, which was kind of weird because my client was like, well, DeAnna, is this right? And I'm like looking.
That's hilarious. So I want to ask you guys, how do you think COVID-19 will affect the market in the short and long term?
That's a really good question right there.
So I think short term, if you have, as a seller, if you have equity in your home, what our company is recommending is that you refinance your home, because we don't know what 3 months is going to look like. It's not the same as when we went through this in 2008. You have to realize this is a virus. That was a market crash. As far as right now, it's still kind of like a virus market because there's not a lot of inventory. So it's a hard prediction. I just hope that people, the buyer and the seller, is very realistic on purchase prices and sales prices.
Yeah, you say refinance, so I put back on my loan officer hat from back in the day. If you are not in a good loan product right now, it's probably a good time to start exploring whether you can get better terms if you're already a home owner and you were thinking about selling and now you're unsure. I would say COVID-19 does not stop all sales. So if you are determined to sell, there are agents that are determined to help you. As far as buyers, buying a home is already very stressful. Just expect for it to be a little bit more time consuming than under normal circumstances. And one of the things I want to advise people is not many people have bought a home under these circumstances. So when you talk to someone and they're telling you about your process, they didn't buy a home during COVID-19. So just be patient.
Okay. So me as a real estate investor, there may be some other ones that's watching. Do you have any suggestions or tips for anyone thinking about buying or selling a home during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Oh, okay. I'll take it. As an investor, I just got off the phone with someone, and this might be very well an investor's market. Right now, people are kind of getting cold feet. So if they have properties that aren't turning enough profit under their own portfolio, they're going to put them back on the market. So this might be a time to pick up investment properties. And so as time goes on, it will tell, no one here is Houdini, but that's one of the things that can be very lucrative for investors.
And right now, we're answering these questions, but we really don't have an answer because we've never experienced this,
Right.
So anyone who's coming to you and say, oh, I have all the answers, they're not being totally honest, because we don't have all the answers. I mean, every day, Zoom is the new way of life. Every day we have a Zoom call with either the regional directors, somebody from PAR, which is the Pennsylvania agency for realtors. And, you know, the lawyers are working diligently 24 hours trying to figure out, like, how do we move real estate ahead?
And those disclosures we talked about, those just came out within this week. So it could be one thing today and another thing next week as far as additional paperwork and additional steps that we have to take to continue to service you.
And even with that additional paperwork, it changed twice. Okay. You know, I said it to DeAnna, and she was like, uh-oh, that's the wrong one. You know, so, yeah. So there's a lot of changes, you know. And I think some of it, like for the consumer, like the 24 hours, I think that's very important, you know. And any agent who wants to say, hey, I'll meet you at the car and we can sign it, it's not fair to any of us. You know, it's not fair to you, and it's not fair to us, and it's not fair to the consumer.
Right. And so to piggyback on that, the buyer has to disclose to the seller if they have any medical symptoms. That's the HSA form. And it has to be provided at least 24 hours before you enter into their home. And vice versa. That seller has to let you know, is anyone sick in this home? And it has to happen at least 24 hours before you're scheduled to go in. So if there's if there is one tip that I would give anyone buying a house right now is do not proceed without seeing these forms going into a home or any other area that someone else is habitating.
That's good to know.
Some good information, lady. Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to put your information up on the screen. So, you know, if you got your cell phone or you're on your computer, take a picture of it, write down their information. Both of them have a Facebook page. Get their email address and their phone numbers, contact them, especially snatch up some of this commercial property. We need to have more commercial property. So when we have an event, we ain't renting from the place. We own the place. You know, we can rent it out to our people. So contact them, DeAnna Davis, DeAnna J. Vaughn, 𝗵𝗵𝗏, however you want to remember it. But the two ladies, very knowledgeable. And we thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, ladies. I learned a lot.
Yes, yes. You have anything you want to add?
Go ahead.
Any last words you want to add?
Be safe.
Yes.
If you have any questions, we're here to answer them. I mean, that's kind of what we do. You can reach us on Facebook. You can reach us by cell phone. That's probably the most efficient way. Or download the app.
Download the app.
You heard that, y'all. Download
that app.
You know. So I'm gonna I just want to bring up a plug for Soul Pit. Make sure you get your free copies that are at the different Giant Eagle locations. They may have removed some of the racks right now because of COVID. You can advertise with us. Visit the website, and if you want to get a subscription, you can go to that link right there. These are the last two issues. When you sign up for the subscription, you'll not only get this last issue, but you'll get our 40th copy special edition as well. So on that note, I want to leave y'all off with one of the coolest men in jazz, and that is Roy Ayers to take you out. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ladies. Have a great one.
You too.
Hi, I'm Roy Ayers. When I'm in Pittsburgh and I want to know what's happening, I go to soulpit.com.